Today we'll be looking into the abnormal structure that is Coral Castle and what exactly it is, and we want to go into details about any conspiracies and questions that we have about the castle. However, before we get into the questions that we have to ask, let's give you a little bit of a backstory. Coral Castle is a very unique structure located in Homestead, Florida, in the United States. It was built by a Latvian-American named Edward Leedskalnin over a period of around 28 years from 1923 to 1951, which is a very long time. Leedskalnin claimed to have single-handedly built the castle as a monument to his lost love, Agnes Scuffs, who had rejected his marriage proposal just before their wedding. What makes Coral Castle quite remarkable is not just its size, but the fact that it was constructed using massive blocks of coral limestone, some of which weigh several tons each. Leedskalnin worked alone and at night, using rudimentary tools and techniques that remain a mystery to this day. Despite numerous theories and speculations, how Leedskalnin was able to move and lift these massive stones with such precision and without modern machinery remains a subject of massive debate and fascination. Today, Coral Castle is a popular tourist attraction, drawing visitors from around the world who come to marvel at its mysterious origins and unique architecture. It has been featured in various documentaries, books, and films, adding to its mystique and allure. Now, you know a little bit about the Coral Castle, we want to go into some deeper subjects like how on earth did he do, and was it really all for a woman who was his lost love? Could there be other species that were responsible for the castle? And we'll end on some other theories. So, let's get right into the action. The way that this one man was able to make a whole castle made up of 1,100 tons of coral, that is an abnormal amount of coral. He was a small man, being 5 feet tall and just weighing 100 pounds. So, for him to do all this work by himself in a time where technology is nowhere near as advanced as it is today, it was a huge feat. Hence, why it took him 28 years of his life to do? It is not totally out of the picture that he did build this all by himself. With the time it took, it was more than possible. But the way he would have had to carry and place these huge bits of coral, he must have been a very strong man. The man would also do the building of the castle at night and would be adamant that nobody would watch him whilst he did it. Very strange, right? It had to have been easier for him to do it in the daytime, where he could see much easier. He could have been hiding something from us, but we'll get into that later on. And a secret that the man may have known which allowed him to build the castle. We want to go into more detail about why he did this. The story is that he did it to impress his fiancée who left him the night before they were going to get married. How evil of her. In response, he would take 28 years of his life to impress her, but by then, she probably would have been married and had children with another man. So why? He was heartbroken and must have thought in his head that this was a way to get her back with him, to do something that was extreme for its time, especially as it was a one-man band doing it all. The explanation for him doing this is possible, but who in their right mind would spend half of their life building something like this? Was there someone else helping him? Maybe some extraterrestrial beings? What can be said though, if this was all him, it was a unique piece of art and one that you should go check out if you are ever in the Miami area anytime soon. But if you do go, just think to yourself, would you build that castle for 28 years for a woman that you lost? Now, we want to talk about a secret that made Edward made the castle, and he said a very cryptic message that he knew how the pyramids were made. Of course, the pyramids were made with tons of solid stone blocks all by humans, and well, that is what history tells us. However, like the castle, it would seem strange for a people without technology all those years ago, and it has been speculated that aliens helped build the pyramids due to the sheer weight and how extreme it would have been for them to be man-made. Now, going back to Edward and the Coral Castle, he could have just looked into how the pyramids were built by humans, and he used geometry and other metrics for him to apply it to the castle. However, another theory is that he had the use of aliens to build the castle as well as them building the pyramids, hence why Edward said he knew how the pyramids were built as extraterrestrial beings built both. This could also back up the point earlier on in the video where Edward would only build the castle on a night. This would allow the aliens to help him, and they would be much more under the radar than if they would help him throughout the day. Now, it still does not explain why he would build a coral castle of all things. It is so strange, but why would the aliens build it? There are so many questions that we will never know the answer to, as a castle made out of coral is so out of the ordinary. Like, why out of coral? There has to be some form of outside thinking and help to create the castle. One theory that has some backing but sounds strange at first is that he helped levitate the stones. Yes, it does sound crazy. It was said that Edward used cones which would emanate sound to cause the levitation, which once again backs the claim that he only used to build at night so that nobody would see what he was doing. This theory of using cones and sound to levitate the 3,000 to 5,000 years ago, it was invented and was said to have been used when the pyramids were being constructed. This backs the claim of Edward knowing how the pyramids were built. It could have been aliens or the theory of using levitation through sound, or both. We can only speculate, but both theories are explainable and not out of the question. Edward will always be the only person ever who will know how the coral castle was created, and conspiracies will always run riot for the rest of the time because of the pure uniqueness of the place, and it's one that you would only see in SpongeBob. Some smaller theories that could be true to explain the whole creation of Coral Castle, or formerly known as Ed's Castle. It is possible that Ed did it to make money, as he would charge 10 cents, which would rise to 50 cents in the 50s due to people damaging the place. So he saw it as art and something that got him a little money on the side. But we are sure he would have not approved of the near $20 entry fee as it is now. Another theory is that he was just an artist who wanted to display his art to the world, and it is something that you cannot find in a museum, for example. It is unique to where it is in Miami. Simple as just art and nothing more or less. Another theory regarding the building, that it was just physics and he was a smart man well ahead of his time, with him building it all by himself. A smart man. Overall, we have to say that the Coral Castle is a such unique place and one that you all need to see in real life. The construction of the place is one that will puzzle us all, but there are theories out there and we will just have to sit and speculate. What do you all think now about the Coral Castle? Is the story all truth to you, or is Edward telling us all lies and something else happens for the creation of the castle to take place? Make sure that you do drop a comment below and let us know what you think. We would love to know. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and make sure that you subscribe for more videos just like this one, and you do not want to miss out.